and she's got some really cool things to show us, and I'm very anxious to learn about how she does stuff and in what way she does stuff, because that's what Tips and Tricks is all about, is learning from each other. Well, what do you do? So we get to learn Hannah's way today. So here you go. Da-da-da. There's Hannah.
Well, thank you. And welcome to everybody. And I wanted to start by talking about the induction cooktop. And can the people on Zoom see it, Sophia? Can I turn it so that it'll be more visible?
No, you're good. It's capturing it.
It is. Okay.
Could you describe it for people who are totally blind?
Yes, I will indeed. Thank you, Elizabeth. Hi. And so it is a rectangular surface sloped at the front and otherwise flat, except it has a groove, a very shallow groove in a circle at about 9.5 inches across that shows you where the cooking surface is, the part that's going to be hot. And there are controls, and this came from Independent Living, and I'm sure they chose it because it has all raised bumps on the control panel, so you can label it any way you want.
Roberto's giving us class.
And it's extremely simple to operate. There are various controls, but actually you only need lock, unlock, far left, then on, off, far right, and then the two to the left and right of the middle panel, which are up and down, and that's all you need to cook. So for people who haven't met an induction cooktop before, and you know, I have no idea how this works, but it's electromagnetic and it doesn't work with any kind of pot that doesn't attract a magnet. So I'm using stainless steel, and the other one that works well is just a plain iron pot, like a solid iron fry pan. There's also, for this one, there's a black mat. I mean, it doesn't have to be black, I'd rather it wasn't, that sits, and it's exactly the same size as the cooking surface, and it sits on top of it, and you can cook through it perfectly well. And the point of it is it makes the surface non-slip, so you can't kind of hit the side and push it off, because the cooktop is about 2.5 inches high, so you don't want to push your pot off. And it also stops any scratches coming onto the surface of the induction cooktop. So there we are. The panel at the front slopes a bit towards you, and there are other controls like timer and Fahrenheit and centigrade, and there's one other that I'm forgetting. Oh, I think there's a cook button. If you set the timer, you then have to set cook. But as I say, for normal use, all you have to do is hit up. Well, you have to plug it in, and you have to have your pot ready, and then you hit unlock, and then you hit on, and then provided you have if you don't put anything on it, it turns itself off instantly. It's really a very safe thing. And otherwise it starts cooking. And there are figures, little lit up red figures in the middle of the panel. And it starts at 700, and you can tap the down arrow and it will take you all the way down to 100, or you can tap the up arrow and it'll take you all the way up to 1300. Now, I have no idea what these figures refer to. Maybe it's watts, but the main thing you know is that it comes on at medium, and you can tap the down to have it simmering, or you can tap the up to have a big fast boil. So now I'm just going to put the pot on, and I'm just centering it with my hands and making sure that the handle is not anywhere that I'm going to knock it. So there it is. Now I'm going to talk for a minute about the recipe.
And before that, Hannah, I had a question. Why would someone want to buy this if they use their stovetop? And how much would this device be?
Oh, if you wanted to buy one, I missed.
Correct.
Yeah, it was $124 from Independent Living Aids. And I think it was $104 and $20 was the shipping.
Okay, and why would someone need this device if we use the stovetop?
Say that again.
Why would we need this device if we use the stovetop?
You wouldn't. It's an alternative. And some people prefer it because of the extra safety. I mean, if you use a stovetop, gas or electric, your hands are always at a bit of risk. Well, with this, only the area immediately under the pot gets hot. And so I don't know, I'll just describe. So I'm just putting I mean, it's not on yet, but I will do it again when it is on. I could put my hands all over this induction cooktop, and the actual side of the pot will be hot, of course, but nothing else that I can touch will be hot. That's one reason people really like it, blind people do. And the other reason is that it's very, what's the word? It responds very quickly to what you do. If you tap the down arrow a couple of times, taking it from 700 to 500, you notice the sound lowers immediately, you know, the boiling sound or the simmering sound or frying or whatever you're doing, and the same. So those are the two reasons: safety and quick response. And some people, especially as we all age, don't want to use a big 4-burner gas or electric stove. They'd rather have something like a 1 or 2 burner induction cooktop. And that, of course, it's compared with a gas or electric stove, it's extremely easy to clean if you boil something over.
Okay,
So
well, thank you.
Okay, good. All right. So years and years and years ago, I wrote a book called Soups, just so you'll know what it's about. And at that time, I wasn't offered. I'd lost my sight 2 years previously. I'd been a chef. I'd been a working chef. And then I I grew up with partial sight. And then I lost nearly all my remaining sight overnight from a retinal detachment. And there I was, you know, I lost my job, blah, blah, blah. And so my husband said, well, why don't you write a cookbook? Why don't you write about soups? Because there's no decoration in soups, nothing fancy. So I did. And so, so I started work on this about a year and a half after I became legally blind. And I've retained my useful bit of sight, so I'm not totally blind. But this was a great thing to be able to get on with. So this soup is a nice, easy soup in that it's one process in one pot. And the ingredients, if you do the basic recipe, is 1 of everything, 1 cup of everything, and not everything, there's more milk. And you can also do lots of variations. You can add grated cheese to it, or you could add a can of minced clams, or you could make it creamier. or you could add chopped parsley or sliced mushrooms or whatever your fancy took you. But it's nutritious, it's very nice, and you know, not at all difficult to remember. So so I chose it, and there are lots more soups like that. Soup is a really useful thing to do if you're blind, because there are so many variations and there's no decoration. So I wanted to mention a couple of cooking techniques, and then we will get cooking. So in front of me here, I've got what is called in French cooking a mise en place, which just means put in place. So let me line these up in the right order. So I'm going to put nearest to the pot. I'm going to put the chopped onion. Then the thing I add next is the red pepper, which I'm actually going to chop with you. And then you add the potato, and then last you add the corn. And if you put them in order, then when you come to cook, you know, you've done all the prep, you've done all the chopping, and you just go boom, 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 boom. So it's a thing that you learn in a kitchen, in a working kitchen, but it's really useful to people with low vision or who live with blindness, because you don't have to be trying to do two things at once. You've got all your ingredients lined up, and then you can cook. And it's, as it were, this mise en place, this putting everything in place, kind of gives you the recipe, because you've got it lined up. You've done the recipe work. Now you can just do the cooking. So I wanted to start by showing you a couple of knife techniques, and before that, a tray. I've got a big green tray here, and if you work on a tray always, then all your bits that you didn't know you'd created are on the tray. And then I also have a chopping board on the tray, and for people like me with color vision, it's a red chopping board, so it stands out. And then I have a big knife, and small knives are usually, with exceptions, much more hazardous than a big knife.
Really?
Oh, much. And so this is an 8-inch chef's knife with a fairly broad triangular blade, which is, you know, 2 inches next to the handle and then going to the tip. And I'll show you in a minute why it's a lot safer than using a small knife, where the point of the knife is often rather near your fingers. So this recipe, and I'm going to tell you the recipe that you will get the copy of, which is the basic recipe, but I'm doing 1.5 times the recipe because I didn't know how many people would like to have a cup of soup. So I'm just putting the butter in to get rid of it. And of course, you always clear as you go along. So Sophia's kindly given me a waste bucket. So now I'm going to show you, and by the way, I apologize in advance if you know all this stuff, which you may well. I don't know what anybody knows, so just forgive me if I'm saying something that you've known since you were 6.
Yeah, right.
I picked up the knife, and I'm left-handed, so it's in my left hand, and I've put half of a red pepper. I cleaned the red pepper out. I got rid of the seeds and washed it at home just for simplicity. And I've got half a red pepper, and now I'm putting the knife, the big knife, in the middle of the red pepper going north to south, top to bottom, and I'm putting my other hand over the top. And if I slide my hand from from the sides into the middle, I can make a rough guess as to what is half. And then I can just press down on the top, and both my, one hand is holding the handle and the other hand is on top of the knife. So now I've cut it in half, and now I'm going to do the same with each half, cutting it in quarters. Again, my right hand is over the top of the knife, and I'm cutting it in half. And same again for this side, cutting it in half. So now I've got 4 pieces of pepper, and what I'm doing now is I've got the side of the knife lined up against all the long pieces of paper, the pepper, the 4 long quarters. And now I lift the knife up with the point on the chopping board. And my right hand, the fingers, I'm sorry this is so wordy, but I can't tell you any other way. So the point of the knife is on the board, I've lifted it up, and the fingers of my right hand, because I'm left-handed, are pointing downwards with the fingers curved under a little bit at the tip. So now the knife is sliding down the fronts of my fingers. So now I'm cutting, and I just go backwards, cutting down with my fingers, forming the measure of how wide I'm cutting. And
See what you're doing now?
yes, do. Let me get to the next one, and then you'll be able to see better. So now I've got this bowl.
That's red pepper?
Yes, that's red pepper. No, you could perfectly well use green. In fact, I think it's green in the original recipe. Okay, so I think I only need another half. So can you see from where you're standing? Okay, so I've got my knife at the side, the long side of the other half of the pepper, and I'm moving it up with the blade, touching the pepper, and now my hand goes over the top like this, and I think, that's about half, and I cut it in half. I move one half away, and I do it with the blade of the knife, and now I'm going to do it again. That wasn't really well done, but anyway, so now this is the bit you want to see. So you see my fingers are curved under, so the knife is sliding down the second joint of my fingers. They are, I'll come and show people in a minute. So now I'm moving my fingers back. Do you see?
Yeah.
And the point of the knife is down. The blade, the wide blade, is sliding down my fingers. And then, do you see that it's really very hard to cut yourself?
Yeah, with your finger.
Hannah, do you have any other sort of general tips for chopping when you're visually impaired? That came up kind of this week, and I'm curious if you have anything else to share with us, any insights.
Yes. Can you remember what the question was?
Well, just generally, how do you chop vegetables safely? Would you recommend the technique you were just showing us where you curve your fingers under to avoid slicing your fingertips?
Well, the basic rule is, first of all, cut it in half, or so that you've got a flat side.
What about if it's a stalk of celery or a carrot?
That's right. So if it's a stalk of celery, if it were me, I'd cut off the ends that have kind of been places, and get rid of them, just the very ends. And then you use that technique. You put the point of the knife down on the chopping board with your fingers curved over, so that the knife slides down the second joint of your finger, and then you just go chop, chop, chop. With a carrot, it's a bit of a rolly old item. So if it's a fat carrot, cut it in half first, lengthways, using the bridge technique. So your hand goes over the, let me come and show you. So here's a piece of bread, all right? So I'm going to hold it and I'm just going to demonstrate the bridge technique, which is like this. So I'm left-handed, remember? So
This is, this one's holding the.
yeah, the knife. And the other one is holding the pepper with knife going across.
In between your.
Yes. So you see both my hands
Your
are
thumb
safe.
and your.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the second thing to show you is that when I'm chopping, the knife is sliding down that joint of my fingers. So it would be on you, it would be this joint.
Okay, yeah,
So you curve your fingers under,
yeah,
less than that, like that.
okay,
And you're gripping whatever it is with your fingertips or
Yeah.
fingernails.
right,
And the knife slides down here.
okay,
And then as you move your hand back, you're measuring the size you want to cut
yeah.
and keeping your hands safe.
Mhm.
And it's what all chefs do, because the chef is always busy yelling at someone. And it's not looking
I will be available at 5 to talk more about this.
at anyone
Thank
else
you.
like to look at that.
I'd like to be asking how you navigate kiwi, onion, and taking the seeds out and melting them.
Oh, well, so, first of all, use a big knife.
Just 1 second. Can you hear on the
Oh,
Zoom?
yeah. Oh.
Holly?
Oh,
Holly and Elizabeth, can you hear us okay still?
Yes,
Okay.
I am muted. It's Holly.
and I'm multitasking, so I know how to cut. I just wanted to know how to make this recipe.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
Hold on.
hold on. Let me make sure I'm, yeah.
Patience, patience.
Okay. What about holding the question about the preparing other vegetables? Let me get the soup on, and then we'll go back to it. Don't forget it though, because we'll go back to it. Okay, so now I've got 2 cloves of garlic, which I have peeled, and I've got 2 cloves because I'm making more than the recipe. So I peel cloves of garlic by taking my big knife and putting the garlic clove on its side and leaning my weight on the big knife.
Mhm.
And then it goes pop sort of thing. And then it's much easier to get the peel off. So now in chopping the garlic, I'm using that same technique with my fingertips tucked under and the point of the knife on the board. And I'm just slicing both cloves. This one feels like I didn't get all the skin off. No, so. And this sounds like I didn't get a little bit.
It sounded like there was a.
Yeah,
piece of
there we go.
skin.
I got another little bit off.
Yeah. See, we can see to cook, we just use our ears and our hands.
Yes, we do, exactly.
And our nose. Yeah, our nose.
It's amazing how condescending sighted people can be about a subject about which they know absolutely zip.
Exactly. Well, some people don't even think we get out of bed safely.
Yes. So now I'm using, oh, I didn't show you this technique. So now I've got the garlic sliced and I'm pinching the tip of this big knife between my fingers, my right hand, as I'm left-handed, and I am arcing the knife. So I'm going chop, 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 and I'm arcing the knife back and forth. And now I use where I've got holding the knife between both hands and pulling the garlic together and chop, chop, chop. And now from on top, I'm sliding my fingers down the knife just to get off the bits that have stuck to it. So that's a very useful technique. So pinch the end of the knife in the fingers of your non-dominant hand, keeping it on the board, and then arc with the knife with your dominant hand. And that's always for chopping small things, like whatever you chop small. Okay, so now when you put your knife down, how does it face?
Away.
Away, thank you. Always, and then you can check your board, right? Otherwise you might slice yourself. Okay, one more thing which I'm going to mention now, and then we really get cooking. I bought a reused jam jar, probably, with sea salt in it, and I just labeled it very simply, really, so I could see it where it lives, which is in among things like the oil and the vinegar. And I just put a blue wide band around it. And of course, when you are measuring, whether it's water or salt or anything else, you always do it by scooping, not by pouring into one of those jugs, with the label, with the numbers on the side. That is totally useless. So instead, and the same, salt comes in one of those pouring drums. So put it into a jam jar or whatever you have handy, something with a wide mouth. And so now I'm taking, this is a really useful implement from theblindchef.com. The blind is it is it her?
Yes,
indeed. Is it the blind chef or the blindcook.com?
I think it's the blind. Holly knows.
Holly knows. Holly's muted. Anyway, it's such a useful instrument because if you cook, because it has a tablespoon at one end and a teaspoon at the other. And so you don't have to pick up that ring of different sizes and your hands aren't perfectly clean. And now in finding the teaspoon, it means you've messed up the other ones and it takes much longer. You just got this really simple thing. So anyway, I'm not going to add much salt at all because I don't know what you all like and I don't want to overdo it. So all measuring is done by scooping, not by pouring. And so now I've added a little bit of salt to the garlic and you can hear it.
We add the salt to the garlic.
Yes, it's
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard that.
you do it because the salt soaks up the garlic juice that is coming out.
Interesting.
So there it is. There's the garlic. And I'm going to put it in with actually the red pepper because it's good to just do the onion for a little bit by itself and then add the garlic. So I'm using the knife to pick up the garlic and putting it on top of the red pepper. A good wide-bladed knife that's really sharp is a single most useful instrument. All right, now we're ready. We have our knife secured facing away, and we have 3 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons in the recipe, in the pot. And now this is where things, and now I'm going to add to it the onion, 1 cup,
much are you?
It's one lightly packed, you don't pack it down, but there's a recipe that Sophia will give to you. So, and now I'm pressing the unlock button and the on button, and you hear the fan going.
Oh,
So now immediately, just with those two buttons, it's set at 700 degrees.
wow.
700 degrees.
I know.
Yes, sorry, 700
The only
watts.
thing I know
Watt,
about-
pardon me, pardon me, 700 watts.
The only thing I know about a burner is the high, medium and low. So where
Yes.
would that come in with?
So it comes in right at medium.
Oh, okay,
So if you want it, if in a minute it sounds like too crackly,
yeah,
we'll turn it down. And you know, folks, I realized that in among my things that I forgot a wooden spoon. So what am I going to do, Sophia? You don't have a wooden
for one.
spoon or any large spoon. And just while that's beginning, I want to mention that cup measures are what, I'm sure you all have them, but cup measures are what you want when you cook. And you don't take your 1 cup measure and say, oh, here's a cup, and then I'll use it for the half cup. I mean, you may do that sometimes when it doesn't matter. But you don't do it mostly because it's much more successful to use the cup and then the half cup, and makes no difference to the washing up really. And so you fill the cup and then you just slide your hand across it, or if it matters a lot, like in baking, use the back of the table knife and slide it across. And then you use the half cup same way, and if necessary, the 1/4 cup.
I do not have a wooden spoon. The only thing I have are these plastic tongs.
Oh, well, you don't have a chopstick.
A chopstick?
Yeah, a chopstick would do it.
yeah.
No, I don't think
No,
so. I'm
okay.
sorry.
I wonder if these are built for anyway. So now I'm stirring the onion, giving it a stir, and the butter has melted. And so nothing's happening right so far. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, the only drawback to an induction cooktop, and it may be if you buy a fancier one, this is not the factor, is the noise of the fan, partly covering some of the cooking noises.
Yeah.
And I found some chopsticks.
Yes.
But
Brilliant
these ones, do you want
woman.
1 or 2?
I'll take the 2 just in case, but one is perfect. Well done. All that's needed.
Okay, now we're starting to smell some lunch.
My grandma was
Yes,
like, how
I
is
feel
it with
much
gas?
better about
Yeah.
using the wood. So this is just going on at this 700 watts, and it's perfectly happy so far.
I would say, Hannah, that the noise is maybe not a bad thing, because once in a while, when I leave the oven on, that's how I know I've left it on accident. After I've taken something out and forgotten to turn it off, I say, what's that noise?
Oh, you do?
And
Oh, I say,
that's-
what's that heat?
what's that noise that I'm hearing, that buzzing, and it's because
Yeah.
I forgot to turn the oven off. So
Yeah.
maybe in some way, it's a good safety
Yes,
feature,
it is.
depending on how you look at it.
Right.
It would be hard, that noise would really interfere if you were wanting to listen if the water's boiling.
Yeah, well, we'll test it because the soup is going to come to a boil, and so now you can hear it, right?
Yeah. No.
There's little crackly sounds. I want to turn it up a couple of taps so you hear how it works, right? So I'm gonna go up. That's up. No, now it's 800. 900. So let's see what it does about that. Also, on an induction cooktop, there is no hot spot or cold spot, which there can be on a gas ring or, the way one part of it is hotter than another and you
That's
have to
right.
be careful.
Yeah, the gas burner, that's.
So now you can hear it, right?
Yeah.
I can hear it from here.
So now it's sizzling away. And now, again, I don't have to look at the recipe or think about it. And I can add in the pepper and garlic. In it goes. And as you work, of course, you're always getting everything out of the way that you're finished with. So you can have another tray or you can put it near the sink or whatever. So while this is doing its thing, somebody had a question about preparing vegetables.
Yeah.
Onions, you want to.
Peeling the onion and getting the seeds out of the pickle. And, peeling. Probably the way out peeling carrots. Where it's supposed to be. And onion. Yeah. And then just peel it, skin it.
So if it's something like if it's a potato, say, and you're thinking you want to cut it into pieces, you happy with your potato peeler?
Yeah.
No problems with that, and you can feel, the surface of the potato feels quite differently when you've got the peel off. And then you use the bridge technique to cut the potato in half. And then you're always looking to create a cut side. I said that before. Same if it was cabbage or anything.
So how would you peel your onion?
Oh, that's right. So first of all, you just want to peel it or you want to peel it and slice it?
You peel most of the time, we peel the slice.
Yes. So I would put a tray and a chopping board out and get my big knife. And if my sense of touch wasn't up to feeling the peel, I might use a little knife as well, just like to catch the edge of the peel. But I would first of all, I'd find the ends of the onion. I would have the onion on the chopping board and use the big knife to cut one end off and going straight down, then the other end going straight down. Then I'd use the bridge technique to cut the onion in half. And now it's easier to get the peel off. And as I say, if you find it difficult, and sometimes the peel is very thin, and it's difficult to find it, and then you might take a small knife and use it next to your thumb just to catch the edge of the peel. Is that the part that's difficult?
Good smell. The smell's making me hungry.
What's the difficult part of peeling the onion?
Chopping.
Oh, chopping it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's so you put your cut side down, right? You've got half. Then you put your big knife north to south on the onion, put the other hand over the top, and depending on the size of the onion, you cut it once north to south with the big knife in your hand, pressing down the other hand, or you can cut it like 3 times if you want it fairly fine. So you cut it in half, then you cut each half in half. Again, always north to south. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you tuck your fingers under thing with the point of the knife on the board, and you go up, down with the knife, and your fingers tucked under, and your fingers are acting as the guide.
What about carrots? Peeling carrots. I haven't had fun too. Seeing if I can peel the whole carrot or not.
Right. I do them. I cut the ends off first,
Right.
and then I peel half the carrot, and then I turn it round and peel the other half.
Yeah, and usually, for me anyway, I can feel where you feel it, it's smooth. Where you haven't peeled it,
Yeah,
yeah. You got
I agree.
texture.
yeah. Unless they're very young and
Yeah.
beautiful, in which case you hardly need to peel.
Right.
Okay, so this now has had 5 minutes, would you all say?
Mhm.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but thank you so much, and hopefully, uh, Sophia will email me the link, to watch your video later. But thank you so much, Hannah. I'm gonna have to go, but you have a great day.
Yes, and I'm sure Sophia will email you the recipe.
Yes,
Yes, she will.
myself or Melanie.
And,
Thank you.
and also, if you'd like the notes on the induction cooktop, she could send you that as well. Do you think you'd be interested or not? No, maybe she won't.
I'll include that too, Hannah.
Yeah, okay. So now I'm going to turn this down a bit. Can you hear that it's sounding a little bit
And
too much?
And the smell too.
And
it's
it's-
getting stronger.
Okay, so now I'm going to go down.
That's how I tell if the broccoli is the way I want it.
Yes, I agree. And listen to how the sound changes so instantly. That's why people like them, apart from the safety. And just to demonstrate the other point about safety, I've got my hands on either side of the pot on the top of the induction cooktop. And I can tap the side of the pot, and that's jolly hot. But the surface, it's not at all hot.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does that thing have a timer on it?
Yes, it does.
Oh,
It has a timer, and next to it, I've labeled the timer, and then it has a cook button. And to be honest, I didn't experiment with that, but I think what you do is you turn it on, and then you set the timer for the number of minutes you want, and then you hit cook when you want it to start.
Or ask Barry to turn on the timer for 15 minutes.
Okay, I'm adding the potato.
Let me get the
The potato. And so now I'm going to add water.
Between those 2 cups, it's about 1.5 cups.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to take my 1 cup measure. And I add water at this point just because it's easier to start cooking the potato in water. And the water gets driven off as it cooks. And it just means that it cooks a bit more, gets the potato cooking nicely. So I'm holding the 1 cup measure over the pot. And I've got a glass of water here. And that is not quite the cup. And the advantage of holding it over, of course, is that provided you're fairly vigilant, you're not going to do more than a little splosh too much. There we go, there's 1. And now I'm going to take the half, rather than guess at the 1, at using half of the 1, which I wouldn't be any good at. I'm using a little less than half. And I can add more if the soup gets too thick. One of the things I really notice about blindness, and I wonder if you guys do too, is that you get trained in your own life to finish off what you're doing. And what I mean is that you wouldn't ever let things pile up on your work surface or somewhere nearby. I'm going to turn the heat up again. So, come on, baby. Where are you? So I've turned it up a little above medium now. Just to get it to come to a boil with the lid on a bit. I noticed that, I mean, low vision and blindness trains you in a lot of things, like creative thinking, massive degrees of attention and organization compared with many people, not everybody, of course. And, but it really trains you in what I would call finishing off an action. You just can't leave things in the way of the next thing you're going to do. Do you think that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I started at wood shop. Same thing.
Yes, it must be exactly the same thing. Yeah, or cleaning or anything.
Right.
Because if you leave the cleaning fluid out somewhere, you know, I left it out for you, one of the most annoying phrases in the world.
It's over there. Yeah, it's over there. That helps.
You say to yourself, oh, where?
Yeah, I say that person over, yeah. Or else I go pray.
It's like somebody had to go to the store and you ask for help, and the guy just points over.
Exactly, it's over
I go, hey,
there.
over where?
Yeah,
I get that all the time.
We all do, John.
You know, how close to stay. Doesn't mean I can see the milk, but I don't understand.
so just to say that it's already boiling, it came back to the boil in about, you know, less than a minute when I added the cold water. So that is something that people like about it. So let's hear about how other people cook and what you all do.
So that cooktop, that cooktop is really, save electricity by having one of those?
I wonder. I don't know if I've never checked that. Does it use less power than regular electricity is what you're asking?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we ask good old AI? I wear hearing aids, so you won't hear.
I don't know, selling one.
I'm having trouble with this morning. It keeps coming up with the last thing I looked for. Not even though I've cancelled it.
No, I used to, I had a family to cook for them. My daughter lives with me now, but As I was saying earlier, like her.
Gas and induction cooktops, so we use less electricity than a regular electric hot plate.
Yeah.
Up to 10% more efficient than electric stoves and up to 30% more efficient than gas stoves.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Wow.
Question, John.
I haven't seen one go.
Question, Hannah. It's Holly.
Yes.
Please. What size? By the way, it's smelling delicious. Clear up here in Scotts Valley. I am tracking with you really carefully, and I'm trying to visualize what you're doing. This is wonderful. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to getting the recipe, Sophia. Appreciate that. My question is, what size pot are you using now? And
No,
please.
I am using one that must be 9.5 inches across because it exactly fits on the cooktop. I'm trying to think what its capacity is. It must be about 4 quarts, I'm guessing.
Okay, got it. And you said it needs to be stainless or like cast iron?
Or cast iron. Yeah.
This is fascinating. And another question is, have you worked for a while with this induction method, or is this new to you?
I have worked way in the past at the Carroll Center. We got one way back and used it a bit, but we didn't use it a lot because all the students, all the clients had gas or electric. And so we would introduce people to it if they wanted, but it wasn't a big factor because
Gosh.
buying a whole induction stove is an expensive proposition. And then I got this and tried it out 3 or 4 times. But no, I haven't used a great deal of it. But I can see in my future that I'm going to get fed up with our big gas stove and possibly over the objections of my husband, who may well lie down in the pathway of removing it. I would like to move to something much more simple than stovetop and countertop.
I'm right there with you.
And this is right there in the contenders. Maybe two burner one.
I can absolutely see it's great value for a lot of people. I'm fascinated. So thank you.
Holly, you want to share some ways that you do your cooking and chopping and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, thank you, Bevy. I would say, oh gosh, I defer to Chef Hannah here. Very sounds like we do things much the same. I do have a question on your north-south, because I know about the bridge technique for cutting and chopping, and I'm not clear. I've never heard north-south. So
Yeah, I know. I made it up.
oh.
I mean, it just means from the root end of the vegetable to the tip, so that you're working. What's another way of saying it, folks? If it was a say you've got a carrot, so the north would be where the leaves sprout out, and the south would be where the root is, and so, or if it's a red pepper, it would be one end would be where the stalk joins, and the other end would be the tip of the pepper. And all I'm trying to get across is that you always work long ways. That would be a much better way of saying it.
There we go.
Yes.
And I was curious about that because we've been working on cardinal direction in orientation mobility training. And so I have that on my radar. So thank you, Hannah. And it-
I'm really confused. Holly's got this wonderful thing going on at O&M and totally ruined it.
No, 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 I'll just keep going in circles. Anyway, back to you, Hannah. This is great.
Yeah. So I just added 2 cups of milk and I think I need to just check my little note, but I'm pretty sure it's 2 1/4 for this amount. So I didn't bring the 1/4 cup.
So the core, I'm sorry, John.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you fry stuff on that too?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
perfectly well.
Like you want to fry a hamburger or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Oh, the corn that you're gonna put in, is it, you use canned or?
This is frozen,
Okay.
and you can also use, of course, fresh, if you want to. And you can just take all the leaves off, take off the silk, and then just zip a knife down the side.
Right,
And that would probably be the nicest, but I didn't think that was too practical.
right. What about canned corn?
If you wanted a creamier soup, I guess the can would be useful, but the frozen is so convenient.
It's better for you.
Well,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
probably
it's
is.
more, you get more vitamins out of it frozen because it's,
Yeah.
you know, flash. Am I saying that right? Flash frozen? Yeah.
Trader Joe's has very nice organic frozen corn that we buy.
Ah. It would be useful for blind people if when you got it on, there was some special sound when you hit that medium mark.
Yes.
Because in chatting, I totally lost track of how hot I had it.
Mhm.
And there's no way, even when you take it up to 1300, it boils furiously.
Yeah,
But you've no other way of knowing that you've reached the top. It doesn't stop or anything, it keeps beeping, but nothing happens. So that is quite a significant drawback.
and I'm sure it would make it cost a lot more, but even to make it top would probably be ideal.
Yes. Well, that would be ideal.
Too bad you can't go through Alexa or Siri.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Oh, I spilled something here. It's my Wi-Fi. Yes, and you could wear your glasses and just ask your glasses to read what the number was.
There you go.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Is it a digital display with the temperature?
Yes, there's
Okay.
a digital display. I don't know. Sophia, could you? Oh, it wouldn't. That's fine. Yeah, in the middle, there's a digital display with numbers on it, and it's when you turn it on, it starts at 700, which,
Okay.
as the group pointed out, is not degrees. But
We were gonna make a soup recipe in 2 minutes.
that's it. Anyway, yes, there is a digital display so that, and now it's boiling quite hard, so I will turn it down again. So I would say it's definitely faster than my gas stove.
Well, and as you say, because I have gas also, and I take before I turn it on, obviously, feel my pan and feel the burner to see that hopefully I might have it in the middle. But
Yes,
even sometimes after I've turned the heat on, I'll just, up top a little bit, feel around to see if it's evenly distributed. And I never feel like it's 100% evenly distributed, the heat.
right.
It feels like it's either hotter on one side or
Yes.
the other. And with my stove, the grate that I put it on, the holes are so big it
Right.
makes me really nervous.
Yes, mine
But,
too.
yeah, I could tip it, you know? and
Yes,
So
I
try
can't
to-
use a really small pan on my stove where it just tips.
Yeah,
I think it'd be good for, if you live in a small place and don't have a lot of room, that would take me perfect.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Or if you have a, if you've got a holiday home or something, a vacation place where it's just a camper or something, mobile home or something, be really good.
But you didn't make ovens like that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot on the market. I think it took a while to catch on and now it really has.
Well, the Brava, were you here for the Brava demo?
I
Dawn?
was, yeah.
Yeah, Bevy was here.
Holly, we were here, John was here,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
Bob,
was thinking
that would be
ovens.
used somewhat like an oven, and it is about the size of a microwave.
yeah,
No,
So it's good, I think, if you're maybe one or two people. making a
yeah, I absolutely agree, because you could heat stuff, that is an amazing machine, I like that machine. But I don't have room for it on the countertops. But that was awesome.
What was it?
The Brava smart oven device. I should show you that before you
Oh,
leave tonight.
wow.
It's in the, actually just right outside this room on the right hand side. We had an in-person demo for a tips and trick, I think it was a tips and tricks session. a
Oh,
couple
I
months
wonder
ago.
where I was. I must have been away.
You might have been traveling or
Yeah.
something fun, probably. But we can have them again. The gentleman that we had was super nice and said he'd be happy to come anytime for more demos.
Yeah, he was really nice.
And I think they're actually presenting. I have to double check, but I think they're involved either in pitchability coming up or Site Tech Global.
Okay,
One of those two, they'll be involved in either a speaking panel or an in-person demo. I'll have to double check. I think I heard that he'll be there. Let me see it.
Now I'm going to taste it. Oh, how we're doing.
with the pitchability, sometimes it's hard to get to the place, the thing that you wanna check out, because there's so many people around it. Does that make sense?
Yes. 100%.
We have a couple of minutes.
So what do you think of those air fryers they got out?
We have one, but Michelle only wants, that's my daughter, only wants to cook vegetables in it, and so. Yeah, I don't really, she uses it, now, the Instant Pot, I love my Instant.
Yes. There are so many good countertop things now. You need a hell of a countertop.
Yes, she
Yeah.
did, absolutely. But the Instant Pot and the air fryer, we just store away in a cupboard.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, that, we don't have. I mean, chicken in the air fryer. You put a whole chicken in there. Yeah, I know that, and people say that, the burgers and stuff like that come out really good and stuff, but she's too afraid that the smell will,
The only
go
thing I
over
noticed
into the
also-
broccoli.
Yeah, the only thing I noticed about some of the stuff, it's not really made for the blind, I noticed.
Oh, you can use it with Alexa.
Oh, you can?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. I heard Holly doing that demo and I was really impressed that she was using Alexa to do because the Instant Pot is not well labeled for blind people.
Well, I got a new one because it did work just fine with my iPhone, and so did the rest of us that had one. But then they stopped doing it with that one, which was very irritating.
Oh, they did. God,
And,
that's maddening.
And so I called
They
them
should
and
have
found
given you
out
one.
which one does work, and so I bought a brand new one. And, and this one works fine with my iPhone.
Yeah, and I'm actually using it with voiceover on the original app with my iPhone. That's how I do my
Wow,
Instapot.
wow.
Mhm. I use
Yeah.
I cook soup.
with the air fryer. I
Rice.
do that with
It
Alexa.
cooks everything, hard boiled eggs. It cooks, they're so good and so fast. They're like a pressure cooker, or they are a pressure cooker.
They are a pressure cooker.
But you cannot cook yourself like the other one. Me too, me too. But this one, it will not unlock unless the pressure is released on it. It's, yeah,
Turn on this.
Yeah, it's got some really good safety features, hasn't it?
yeah, it does. Yeah, the rice comes out perfect in it. It just, you could steam with it, like making soup. I turn the saute on first, and like she did with onions and that kind of stuff, I saute first. And then, turn the saute off and, add the liquid to it and the vegetables I'm gonna cook with it. And then put the lid on and then turn the manual on and long enough for it to cook it.
And how long do you then do it for?
Oh my gosh, probably that's half an hour it's done. I mean, it's really fast.
Thing about cooks is we all kind of do it by, when you've done something enough times, you don't really quite know how you do it,
Exactly.
which isn't very helpful to other
My
people.
my mother was a fantastic cook, and it was always a pinch of this and a pinch of that.
Yes, a handful of this.
Yes, exactly.
I find it, the easy thing to do is cook a crock pot.
Well,
Please.
the Instant Pot also has a crock pot in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right, yes. The only thing about the crock pot feature is that it doesn't, well, our model, which may be faulty, only works as a crock pot if you set it on the high setting.
Yeah.
If you set it on the crock pot, meaning in this case, slow cooker, if you want to slow cook something, you have to go to the crock pot or slow cooker setting and set it on high.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just doesn't go in.
I agree. I only used the crock pot once or twice, and
Yeah.
I didn't really, I wasn't crazy.
Well, I used to make, I use one, depending what you're cooking at, it was something cooks fast, put it on medium, okay, with something that it takes so long, you put it on.
Oh, that's sensible. Yeah.
Put it on high and. The problem, but it's kind of old fashioned, I don't have a dish one. I got high, medium, and low, so.
Hard boiled eggs come out perfect in the Instant Pot. I have a little, you can buy them on Amazon, a little basket insert. And so, you put it whatever amount of eggs you want in that, and just about a cup of water in the bottom part of it. And then seal it up and put it on for 5 minutes. And then as soon as it heats up and starts cooking, it cooks it for 5 minutes, then it turns it off. And then I put it in a ice bowl for 5 minutes, and then it goes to the refrigerator. So, and they, you know how sometimes we go to cook a hard boiled egg and it sticks. That never has stuck. Never.
What sticks, Debbie?
When you make hard boiled eggs, sometimes the outside of it, the shell will
Cracks.
stick to the egg itself, but these don't.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
you
they
mean you
come out
can't peel the butter.
Clean as can be. I just hit it on the counter and then roll it with my hand, and it just comes right off. It's
Wow.
amazing. Perfect.
I found with me, if I don't have any that, I use my timer on my phone, which is really good for that.
Yeah.
Really does, I mean, I time my laundry that way and time my,
Hi, this is Pearl. I came in late. I'm here.
Hi,
And if you don't have a crock pot and you want perfectly steamed eggs, hard boiled eggs, if you have a steamer, any kind of steamer, so you put the water in the bottom pot and then you put in the steamer and the water is below the bottom of the steamer. You put your eggs in the steamer, put the lid on. I turn it, okay, so I turn it on high and I tell Alexa to time 15 minutes. As soon as I know that the water is boiling, it's steaming, then I turn it on low for the rest of the time. And then after 15 minutes, I just run them under cold water, or you can put them in ice. And it does the same thing. The shells don't stick and the eggs are perfectly hard. So, you know, if you don't have any other way of doing it, that's a great way to do it. I think it's the steaming process that makes the difference.
It must be, now that you're saying that, yeah.
Yeah, rather than boiling them in water.
Right,
Yeah,
they don't come, sometimes they don't come out so great boiling them in water.
right. So once I learned this method, that's the only thing I do, you know, I just 15 minutes, they're done.
Yeah, the same kind of thing, but I do it in the Instant Pot and it takes 5 minutes.
Right.
5 minutes after it comes to temp.
Yes, but it comes really fast,
Oh, it does.
yeah.
That reminds me, I used to save corn in the freezer, and how I do that, bring it home. Like farmer, I used to buy stuff at the farmer's market. And I'd bring it home, I cook for maybe less than a minute. Maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And then I run cold water on the cooking, start cooking process, I put it in the freezer. You store years for a long time for that. Put it in a plastic bag, that worked pretty good for me.
You can actually cook anything in Instant Pot. If you have one and you wanna know, okay, how do I cook corn in the cob? All you do is, put in that search for cooking corn in the cob in an Instant Pot, and you have a whole bunch of idea recipes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I do a blanch, way, you stop cooking process, don't cook all the way, put it in the freezer. That's quite a while. I used to do that.
Our girlfriend of mine taught us to do corn on the cob in the microwave. And it works. Like if you have one corn, you leave it the way it is. You don't shuck it, do anything to it, and put it in the microwave on high for 3 minutes. So if you have two corns, it's 6 minutes. The only problem is that when you take it out, it's really hot.
yeah.
So I use a glove, and but it comes out perfect every time, and you don't have to clean a pot.
Good thinking, Perla.
Yeah, good thinking.
The problem I find is sometimes things get dried out when you cook them. There's some ready products.
Oh, yeah, if you try to heat up your pizza, it's not so good.
So what you do is put a little water on something, and you wrap it in paper towel, it's
Right.
wet, and you put it in the microwave.
Anna, I'm
Yeah.
curious about the kind of potatoes that you use, please. Do you like the waxier ones, like a gold or a red, or are you looking for
do for
more
this.
floury?
I do for this because
Mhm.
I want them to stay more or less in pieces, not
Mhm.
just become a kind of semi-puree. That would kind of not be so good in the recipe. So you want nice little cubes of potato in your mouth.
Yes. And do you leave the peels on them?
I have taken it off. If I was making it at home, I would probably leave them on, but then you have to remember to scrub the potatoes.
Mm-hmm. I know the little gold potatoes that I sometimes buy, again, at Trader Joe's. The skins are so thin, I'm
Yeah,
noticing,
right.
that they would probably do really well in the
And
soup.
it takes away a whole process.
Uh-huh. And they're smooth. Yep, that sounds great. What
Yeah.
size of a chop on that? On your potatoes?
What size, what?
A chop, just a large chop on your potatoes, or what size are your little
What
chunks?
size were my cubes? Is that what you-
Correct. Yes.
They were about a quarter of an inch square, or maybe a little more.
Yeah, you don't want them too big because it's soup.
Uh-huh. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so the soup is
And I
ready.
have a question about how long the knife is that you use.
It's an 8-inch. I'm
8
quite
inch,
small,
okay.
as you know, Perla. So it's an 8-inch chef's knife, and it
Okay,
with a. I would think that it's triangular blade, and I would think where it meets the handle, it's just about 2 inches, and then going to a point. And
Okay,
you keep it
thanks.
nice and sharp. I'm sure you all know that blunt knives are dangerous. Sharp knives are much safer because you put pressure on a blunt knife and then it slips, or it can slip.
Right.
So, guys,
Ready to eat?
yep.
All right, let me go get the bowls and the.
Yeah. So I have a question, Hannah.
Yes.
Is there any way that you can share your soup recipes, all of them with us?
No, not really.
Okay.
But what I could do is put,
Yeah, we'd love to hear about you.
I would love to put, if anybody has, I would love to put like a dozen on my website. Because what I could do, and I did start to try, was to just have it go on Bookshare.
Oh,
What do you think?
yeah, that's an idea, but there's a lot of people that don't use Bookshare.
I know there are. So I was thinking I'd put a number of simple, I don't want to put lobster biscuit because, hey, and it's not to say that a blind chef couldn't do it. Of course they could, but,
Yeah.
if you're that fancy with your cooking, you don't need, to know about soups probably.
Well, my daughter and I eat a lot of soups during the cold months.
Yeah, quite. And yes, I'd love to. And I can also just send them to you as Word documents. Why not?
That would be whatever is easiest for you.
Mhm.
Hannah,
And-
one idea, if you were to.
Yeah,
I could link your website in the email that we send out to the tips and tricks group.
Oh, that's
So they
fine.
could follow the link directly to your website to review your recipes.
Yeah.
It's just one way of doing it.
Yeah, that'd be great. I want to say one thing now, which is that I brought soy sauce because otherwise this can seem a little sweet, because the sweet corn is a little dominant on the corn. So yesterday I thought, I'm just going to give this soup one more try to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. And I added the soy sauce while the soup was boiling and it curdled. I was so shocked. I'd made this lots of times before. And then I looked it up and it said, yes, soy sauce is acid and it can curdle the milk.
I'll be darned.
So just to say, now I'm going to bravely add just a little soy sauce, and now it's not boiling, right? I mean, the soup has finished cooking.
Right.
I think it was the boiling action
Probably.
that did it.
Yeah.
So we are about to find out.
And Perla, what did you start to say?
Did she? I missed it.
nothing.
Was it about the recipes?
Oh, just that that I want all the recipes too.
Me too. And Hannah, I was most interested in the write-up that came with the Zoom link, a very nice write-up with some of your background that said that the soup recipe, there's 5 variations. And so that would be wonderful to learn about that, please.
Yes, I can certainly do that. And if anybody wants to just text me or send a message or tell Sophia any particular soup or group of soups you'd like, then I'll know what to focus on.
Oh, so you take special requests.
I don't know.
Soup genres.
Anyway, you
I know which one I'd like to have, lentil soup.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes,
Ooh.
definitely.
Yeah.
Sophia, would you like to serve up? And there's a ladle here, and if you give everybody.
Absolutely.
I like pea soup myself.
You do?
Too.
That split pea soup? A lot of people don't, and my theory about that, John, is that, sighted people don't like the color of it.
Oh, really?
I think, I don't know, but that's just my theory,
Okay.
because
No, it looks.
there's a lot of people that don't like split pea soup. And, you know, the color of it isn't very,
I know.
vibrant.
You know, I think
green.
that I may invite the group to do potentially, because the soup I'm feeling is making the bowls quite hot to hold. So unless you want to hold it right at the top of the bowl around the rim, another option would be you could scoot your chair up to the table and eat it on the edge of.
Okay.
So whatever is easier for you, I just
I'm
want to.
coming.
We don't use these bowls often, and so I, you know. Noticing they're really hot.
The Chinese.
Carol, you want to come up?
And we can move.
Hey, I've got my spoon ready.
You're sitting right next to Debbie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you want to sit next to me, Perla? And Holly too, right on the other side of Perla.
Me too. You know, Bevy, I almost asked if I could twist your arm and have you bring a little extra to your house and I'd come pick it up. I thought that would be, that's over
Wait,
the
I
top,
can't hear
Holly.
you, honey.
No.
What is it you said?
Grab that chair, maybe you can sit on the other side of Carol.
You're gonna have to tell me later because I can't,
Oh, yes. I'll let you
Yeah.
focus. Mhm.
Right here.
There you go.
So you could easily add hot pepper to this. You know, any additional.
If you add
clam, you want
clam chowder?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Take a
absolutely.
tin of
Can I move
one
this
of
out of the
those
way a little
small-
bit?
Just a sec, John, I'll move it for you. No
Right.
problem.
One of those.
Hannah,
small
Hannah,
ones
do you have a recipe for Manhattan red clam chowder?
Scoot it a little bit.
I don't have that, no.
You know, that is so hard to find in restaurants
Yeah.
now.
Oh, cool.
You know, this,
I hadn't heard of it. When I was doing this, I lived in England and,
Oh, yeah.
you don't have Manhattan chowder there? No.
Wow.
I feel like it's a very East Coast.
I think it is
And
too.
over here you see more of the creamy, like.
That's right, yeah.
Well, the best place I had chowder is down at the wharf.
Oh,
Yes.
it's
Fish-
so
Santa
good
Cruz
down
Wharf.
there. And their sourdough bread. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
soup inside of bread.
Yeah.
And soup bowl.
Was that?
Yeah.
Just be careful, the bowl's super hot underneath where the soup is. Super hot too.
it sounds so good.
I haven't made it one of those
There you
clam
go.
chowders where it's really thick, you know,
Yeah.
because I prefer to be able to taste the ingredients. But
Mm.
you could, you know, if you wanted, you could take, if you have one of those, what's it called? A stick, what's the word? It's like an old liquidizer thing, only it's a stick one and you put it in and you whiz it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what's it called?
Immersion.
One of those.
Yeah.
Immersion blender.
Yeah, that's it, an immersion blender. If you have one, and then the other name is a stick blender.
Yeah.
And you just when you're kind of most of the way there, before you add the last of the corn, you can whiz it and make it semi-thick, and then have the last of the corn added for a bit of crunch.
Mhm.
So also a good way of doing it. But I thought adding the stick blender was just one more thing, you know.
Yeah.
What do
You
you
know,
think, guys? It's all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot. Hot, yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be hot.
Fresh soup, yeah, you can't beat that. It's soup season.
It sounds delicious. It sounds so good. You
Mm.
know, Hannah, I use this, it has really inspired me. I used to do a soup very similar, but I added a can of good flaked salmon. And that recipe called for
Yeah.
cream corn, but also it had celery in it. So using this recipe, maybe, what do you think? With maybe a can of
Yeah.
salmon and maybe a little celery or something. What do you think of that? Would that work?
Do, I think I also have, which I could easily add to this list, a smooth
It's really
soup
good.
that is
Yeah.
canned salmon and canned crab. And you whiz it all up with cream,
Yeah.
and it's really good. But yes, you certainly can chop celery. Finely chopped celery is one of the options.
Hmm.
And yes, absolutely.
You're making me
Have to
hungry.
watch it that you only add the salmon at the end, so it didn't get all hard.
Hmm.
Hannah, this is delicious.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've dished you up a little bowl too.
Thank you. I hope you're going to have them.
What time?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
If you want to take a break and have a seat.
Thank you.
I feel bad that Perla and Ollie can't join us.
Oh, thank you.
I know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm at home waiting for the plumber.
Oh, geez.
But it's so nice to be able to zoom in, isn't it, Perla?
It is. It is. I'm really grateful to you for providing that service.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Most of the soups require both onion and garlic.
If you want it.
It is true that a friend of my husband's said to me, why do most of your soups have onion in them? So it is common, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, my son wouldn't eat it for that.
Yeah.
With onion?
No, he won't eat onions.
Cooked or raw, huh?
One little hack that I'll share with the group that my husband uses, because he likes to make a lot of soups.
So, yeah.
At Trader Joe's, they sell I don't know how to pronounce it, the mirepoix. It's like
Mirepoix, yeah.
Yes.
Mirepoix.
and it's a pre-cut in, 3 parts, onions, carrots, and celery. And so he uses that to help with making the base of the soup.
Oh, that's
Very
a good
Without
idea.
having to chop it up himself. Well, I'll say himself, but it's usually me, the soup chef, who's chopping it up. So I'm grateful for the pre-cut.
So is it in the fresh department or?
Yeah, it would be kind of in the refrigerated section,
Yeah.
near the berries and
Okay.
asparagus
seen
and
that.
vegetables. Yeah, because that's quite a common base, I think, for
Yeah,
he
very.
uses it
Yeah.
for making
I bet
bolognese,
some fish over there.
things like that. And it just saves some time and effort. It comes in a tub that's maybe I don't know, 5 inches tall, like a little quart. What'd you say? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Mary?
I know.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
seen
not
it.
sure what size that is, but it's a decent amount that you get.
Well, I use a lot of garlic, and so what I do is buy the peeled garlic, put it in my food processor with a little bit of kosher salt and olive oil, mash it up, and then make little puffs and put them in the freezer, and then I just cut when I move.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Like a garlic paste, kind of?
Yeah, it's like a garlic paste. Other
A
than
great
that, real.
Somebody on the computer want to say something? I thought I heard.
It sounded like Holly. Maybe the.
Oh, I was just saying, great idea on the garlic paste
Yeah.
and the freezer.
They sell garlic.
Because we do things slowly, I mean, things get so slowed down when you lose your sight, that it's really good
It
to
is.
double everything and freeze.
Right. You're right, Hannah, that part of it is really, it kind of drives me crazy because I have to go so slow.
It's so.
It's not my nature to be slow. But that's the way it is.
Yes,
This is delicious, Hannah.
It really is.
it could be a little more peppery, couldn't it, or a little more, soy.
Mhm.
It's a little sweet, but I got so horrified by that I wasn't too bold with the soy.
I like it. Very good.
Um,
Really nice.
Hannah, Hannah, does it matter what level milk you use? Like non-fat, all fat, no fat, middle fat?
No, I use full fat always. It's supposed to be good for
Okay.
you. Mm.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't want to use almond milk,
Mhm.
I probably use oat milk.
Mhm.
because milk, because almond milk lasts longer for one thing, you don't worry about it souring on you, you know,
Mhm.
Oh,
and that's,
Mm.
and the only way I know if it's sour is to smell it, you know. And cow's milk doesn't agree with me anyway.
What a treat, Hannah, to have you down there cooking and sharing with us. This is super.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I miss the potato things. Were they white potatoes and yellow
Mhm.
potatoes?
You know, a long time ago, Holly and I and Patrice started out by making recipe files to be able to share with people, but it didn't last too long, did it, Holly?
No. That's okay. It was a good idea at the time.
You're right.
It lives its short life. It seems
Because
forever.
as it's fun sharing tips and tricks, it is fun to share recipes too.
This, yes.
Yeah.
And that's what our
I
idea
think-
was.
I think the thing with recipes, it's it's not so much the ingredients as the technique that's
Oh.
important.
But
Yeah.
clean shirt too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
I think,
go ahead.
no, that's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to share that over this last week, I am in my mind thinking, Holly, need to simplify, and like a one pot soup, getting in more back into that. I think it's a great, great idea for me. I had a friend over last week and I did brunch, which, so I did an egg scramble in one pan and I did some little sausage in the other. And I'm not used to using that other little pan on the right side in front of the toaster. And the handle sticks out a little bit. And guess where the pan ended up?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it actually, thankfully I had a cover on it, keeping the sausage warm. So, but no harm done. It just actually landed right side up on the floor.
Mm.
But the reason I bring this up is not to tell you, certainly not to scare anybody, because it doesn't happen often and it's not a problem. But the simpler we do things, for me anyway, I'm realizing, especially when there's distractions like people around talking and visiting and all that stuff. So one pot wonders are going to be my friend this fall.
Holly, you can really make some good soups in the Instant Pot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
That's how I make my what's the name of that squash?
Butternut.
Butternut squash soup. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, is in the Instant Pot, and you
It's-
just saute your vegetables and everything right in there.
It's so yummy.
And then I just, you could use the immersion blender for sure, but my daughter wants it more blended than that, so
Mm-hmm.
I pour it into the blender, yeah, and then blend it up. It's really good. I put coconut milk at the end.
oh, that's good.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something, Carlo?
Oh, I don't know. For Holly, I was thinking, we have not been entertaining for some time, but I like to have things that are done ahead of time so that, everything is pretty much done
Mm-hmm.
and all it needs is heating or slicing or something like that.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to be at the stove when your guests are there, because for me, that would be dangerous.
Yeah,
Yes.
it doesn't work for me at all to do that. I too have to have everything done before guests arrive. People want to help, or people, it's like, nope, I gotta do this, and I gotta hear it too, and really concentrate on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This
And
was a funny awareness I had one time, when I used to have women's AA meetings at my house. I always made popcorn, and I made it a little bit I got started too late, and all the women started coming in the kitchen. I couldn't hear the popping of the popcorn.
Yeah.
It was like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
So,
Did you get them?
yeah,
You know,
it's so,
I just asked him, I asked somebody with sight, because it just wasn't, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear, there was too many people talking. Yeah.
yeah, you know, Hannah, you were talking about finishing things. I didn't know I was going blind. And when I was in my 20s and 30s, before all this came on, I used to, if I was entertaining, I used to have pots and pans and things going all over the kitchen, like 4 or 5 things at one time. And when I think about that, oh my God, it scares me. But I think that there were a couple of things that I really learned very quickly. One of them was to do one thing at a time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because if I try to do more than that, then something turns into a disaster.
right.
And then the other thing was to acquire patience, which was something I never really had, to be more patient with myself, and the fact that it took longer to do things, and that I had to learn new methods of doing things that took longer, and so on and so forth. So
Mhm.
yeah, blindness really makes a big difference.
It sure does, Perla.
It does, and back to my little brunch with my friend last week. The reason I was doing what I was doing in front of her is because she's got some vision loss going on, and she said, "How do you do that?" So I thought, well, she said, "I'd like to watch you," and she was wonderful about when I said, I need to stay pretty focused. And nothing to do with her. She was wonderful. It was just one of those things, all I have to do is hit your little arm a little bit against where you're not used to having a pot handle, and there it goes. Thankfully there was no oil involved, but it
Yeah.
was so helpful because I am like today, Holly, I'm going to do more soups, and I'm going to go back to a frittata instead of a scramble on the stove that can go in the oven, and as you say, Perla, be pretty much done. So
Mhm.
that's where my brain is right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
completely agree. Yes. Because if you have some friends over, you don't want to be not able to pay attention to them, or indeed getting annoyed with them for for being in the kitchen and saying, "Oh, what can I do?" And
Right.
you like move away and
Yeah, sit down.
Right.
Talk to me right now.
Yeah, but it is, well, blindness is not something that anybody would ask for.
No.
It is, it does so train you in attention. I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
by how good everybody's attention is,
Mhm.
and how well we all think ahead, and how reliable we are. You all notice that? I mean, we've all been kind of left somewhere by a ditzy friend, and reliable friends.
Mhm.
We don't offer to do things and then forget about them, or at least not regularly.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.